Hey guys, today we'll be playing a game of Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds, and this is a game that I talked about a little in my Battlegrounds 2 video. It's a very interesting game. It's actually one of the first Magic the Gathering games that came out. The first one that came out was the Magic the Gathering Chandelar, Duels of the Planeswalkers game made by Microprose. That one came out in 1997 for DOS. And then we have the Battlegrounds 2 game, which is very similar to Magic, but obviously not by Wizards of the Coast. And this is before Magic made all those mobile games. So before Magic made all like Magic, I think this was around the same time they created Magic Online, but it was before they created Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012, 2013, 2014, so it was before they created those games. And yeah, when I first played this game I was kind of disappointed because this is not exactly what you would expect a Magic game to be like. First of all, there's lots of different modes here, which is a good thing. You have Quest. This is the main adventure mode. Basically, this mode, all it does is unlock to you a bunch of cards, unlocks different colors and cards for you. So that's... Otherwise, the gameplay is the exact same as the duels, so we're not going to go too much into that. There is multiplayer, so you have the ability to play with LAN, and we don't have anyone that plays a LAN game right now. This game is pretty old. We don't have anyone LANing right now. You can do practice duel, versus duel, and arcade duel. They're all very similar, but I can show you versus duel right now. There's the 5 different colors of Magic, represented by 5 different planeswalkers, and you can unlock more planeswalkers as you play along, which I assume are like 2 colors or different kinds of decks, I guess. But yeah, you have these starting planeswalkers here in the 5 colors of Magic. Red, green, white, black, and blue. And yeah, it's very interesting because this is not actually a card game. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? So with this game, Wizards of the Coast made a game that's not actually a card game. So instead what you have is kind of like a dueling game, I guess. I think they really made this with consoles in mind. So when this game came out, it came out for the Xbox first, right? So they wanted to make a Magic game, but I guess they couldn't really figure out how to make a card game for the Xbox, so they made this kind of semi card game, dueling game instead. It's not actually a card game. So instead of having 60 cards and having, you know, unlimited possibilities with all the different creatures and spells and whatever, you can have more than 60 cards in a Magic deck, obviously. So you can have like 100 cards, 1,000 cards, but in this game you're only limited to 9 slots. And the first 3 slots are sorceries. In Magic, this is basically the spells in the game. So you have sorceries for the first 3 slots, and then creatures for the next 3 slots. These spells are basically corresponding to an actual card in Magic. It's very similar, and they play similarly in this game to what would happen on the card if you played it in a real Magic. If you played this card in the actual card game. So they basically animated the effects and everything. So this unsummon in actual Magic would return a card, a creature card, to the owner's hand, but in this game it would animate that and duel in real time, because this is a dueling game. And yeah, they call this a spellbook. But I find this very limiting because there's only 9 slots. You can only use 3 of them for sorceries, 3 of them for creatures, and 3 of them for enchantments. So it's very, very constricting. Unlike an actual Magic the Gathering deck, which has a lot of almost infinite possibilities, this one only gives you 3 slots for each of these different spells. So it's really, I don't know. I just found it very disappointing, which is why I bashed it a lot when I first played this game. I thought this was like totally not what I expected a Magic the Gathering game to be like, and I was really disappointed about it. But anyways, I've played this game a little bit more now, and it's okay. It's not like... I still don't think it's as good as Battlegrounds 2, but it's okay. It's like okay-ish. Passable. I don't know. It's not the worst game I ever played, but they definitely could have been better. So we're just going to do an arcade duel here. I just play... Versus is for 2 players, so I don't have another player to play with. Instead, I'm just going to play arcade, so I can play against the computer and show you guys how this game's like. So this is how creating a deck goes. Right now, I didn't unlock the other colors because you have to go through the entire quest to unlock all 5 colors, which is really annoying. So yeah, that's kind of annoying to have to do the quest because I want to be able to have the colors unlocked right when I play the game. Why do I have to do the adventure to be able to play with my favorite color? Like for example, I don't have blue because I have to go through the quest to play for blue, okay? And it's, even though the quest is not that difficult, it's still kind of annoying to have to go through it to unlock the color you want. Anyways, we're playing with green and red because that's what I have right now. This is the starting colors. And this is, I guess, the deck construction is you have these 9 slots, and these are the available spells I unlocked from playing the game. So we're gonna create a deck, and let's see what we can do here. We have Inferno, which is a pretty powerful card, Elvish Warrior, Giant Growth, the usual cards here. I want Llanowar Elves to give me mana, and Tranquility destroys all enchantments, don't need that. Untamed Wilds, Priest of Titania generates 1 mana for each elf in play, which is really good. And I want to have a... okay, Scorching Missile deals 4 damage, I want that. Spell. Escapes to control the enemy creature. Magma, we have some big creatures here like Volcanic Dragon, I'll have that. Gratuitous Vitus deals double damage, that's really cool. It's enchantment. And Fervor gives all creatures haste. So, yeah. As you can see, this is actually threatened. Whoops. I wanted Fervor. Where's Fervor? Okay, here's Fervor. Add this thing. And I have slots for 2 more sorceries and 1 more enchantment. So I'm going to choose Giant Growth and Reckless Charge. Alright. And yeah. I think that's okay. It's not a really good deck. But you see how I'm limited here and only choosing 3 sorceries and 3 creatures and 3 enchantments is really not what I expected a Magic the Gathering game to be like. You know, I want to be able to create my own deck and stuff, but, you know, this is all I have, except... okay, so I created my own duelist here. And I can choose, I guess I can unlock different templates later. Yeah, I'll just choose that. I don't know. Just like GR, I guess that's my deck. Beats. Alright. Alright, let's actually edit my deck a little bit, and I think I'm gonna put Untamed Wilds instead. I'm gonna remove this and put Untamed Wilds, I think, which is it's better for this deck because I need the Volcanic Dragon a lot. Here we go. Accept. Alright, and let's play from here. Alright, so this is Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds, and you can see how it's really different from what a card game would be like. So yeah, they made it kind of like this dueling game where you're on a battleground, you're on a battlefield, and you summon creatures just by collecting these mana crystals up from the ground. So instead of, in this game, instead of using lands, which is what you normally use to get mana in the real game, so in the card game you have lands to get mana, but in this game you have to pick up these mana crystals from the ground, which basically act as your mana. And you basically have the set number of spells, obviously, only 9 slots to cast, so you don't have any randomness in this game at all, which is really what made Magic fun, is because it's a card game, it has randomness, but since this game does not have any randomness, you can just you can have like some kind of strategy in this game. You can choose which cards have the most synergy and stuff, but you don't have the same number of randomness as in an actual card game, so that kind of sucks. And yeah, you're basically a Planeswalker, and you notice how I can actually attack in this game with my Planeswalker directly, and I can hit a creature for like 1 damage. And you can see in the top of the screen, I have my health bar, which we all start at 20 health, just like in Magic. And in you can see my mana crystals there. I have 3 red mana and 3 green mana. Those are my mana crystals, and they regenerate over time. Instead of, you know, tapping your lands for mana, you basically use up these little mana crystals. Yeah, sometimes I can just kill the creature before they can come to me.
Scorching missile.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how they made this game, but they made all the keyworded mechanics from the actual cards somehow translate into this kind of game. So, for example, if a creature has haste in this game, they attack a little bit faster. So normally, when you summon a creature with haste in the actual card game, it means they can attack right away without waiting until the next turn. But since it's not a turn-based game, this is actually a real-time battle game. Normally, the creatures attack as soon as you cast them, but if they have haste, they just attack a little bit faster. That's it. So that's kind of interesting how they made that work. And instead of the creatures tapping to attack like in the real Magic game, instead if they hit the player, if they hit the other player, if they hit the opponent, or they get hit by a creature, they either die if their toughness is reduced to 0, or if they don't die, they get resummoned on your side of the battlefield with their toughness reduced. In the actual Magic game, you can see that this guy has a power toughness of 1. It actually shows on the little creature, right below the creature, it shows their attack and toughness. A little bars, green bar for power, and little yellow bar for health. Yeah, so that's their power and toughness. So this guy has 1 attack, 1 power. But yeah, instead of the real Magic game, where your guy is kind of tapped and you have to wait until the next turn, in this game, yeah, they just respawn on your side with a little bit less health. And I think in the real game, basically the creature regenerates their health, and they don't. So when in the actual card game, if a creature takes damage, then the next turn they basically regenerate their health if they don't die. But since that's a little kind of powerful in this game, they basically made it so that the health regeneration does not happen unless the creature has regeneration. Then it does happen. Whereas in the actual card game, if the creature has regeneration, that means that if they are dealt lethal damage, then they don't die. But in this game, it just means that they respawn with full health instead of the reduced health. I guess that's to make it more balanced, I guess. Anyways, let's finish this duel up. I'm gonna put a volcanic dragon out and give giant growth. There.
Giant growth.
Yeah, that should do it. Giant growth. Giant growth. Alright.
I am defeated.
We're just gonna go through this arena and go through all 5 colors. Just for kicks, I guess. See what they have. I bet they're all basic decks, but anyway. I didn't unlock any of the more powerful guys, but the concept is the same here. It's very different than a card game. It's real time. And that's what makes me most surprised about this game, is that the fact that it's real time, it's not really using any cards, it's not turn-based, it's basically really unlike what Magic is, but somehow they made it work. Somehow they made all the abilities transfer over, like haste and trample and flying, that's all here. They have creatures with trample, which basically means they go through another creature. Normally if they run into a creature, they get respawned on your side of the field. But if they have trample, they go through that creature, continue until they die. And yeah, they made trample work, they made flying work, regeneration, fear, even stuff like dealing 2 damage to all creatures, regeneration. They made that somehow work in this real-time combat game, which is very interesting. Alright, let me I need 1 more mana, green mana here. So I need to wait for my mana crystal, aka my land. Alright.
Untamed wilds.
Alright, and
Llanowar Elf.
yeah, why not? I got some Llanowar Elves back here. So yeah, you see the little these little two, I don't know what to call them. But anyways, these 2 things at the back here, back of the battlefield, they're used to hold enchantments. So I guess you can have up to 2 active enchantments at a time. I just casted 1. And I can cast another one. I'll let you get another one in here. Alright, so I can cast this one, Gratuitous Violence, which doubles my creature's attacks, and there's I just filled up my enchantment slots. So you can only have 2 enchantments on the field at the same time. Yep, and let me cast Volcanic Dragon. There we go. Finish.
Volcanic Dragon.
Giant growth.
Priest of Titanium.
Whoops. Giant growth.
Giant
This
growth.
should do it. And you can't block.
Did you really think you could win?
Yep, let's play black.
This is gonna.
Alright. And you can actually block in this game with your character. It's your planeswalker character can both attack and it has a shield, so I can use the shield to reduce the damage. So instead of doing 2 damage, that Carnophage only did 1 damage to me because I used a shield, but it takes up mana for me to do it. See? So that's interesting how they made your player character actually be able to attack and have a shield.
Llanowar Elf.
That's definitely something you can't do in the actual card game. Yep, alright.
Llanowar Elf.
One more green mana.
Carnophage.
It's really annoying.
Llanowar Elf. Untamed Wild.
Okay, finally.
Scorching Missile.
There, I killed that before it even did damage to me.
Untamed Wild.
So there isn't actually any mana screw in this game. As you can see, I always get 1 green mana, then 1 red mana, then 1 green mana, then 1 red mana, so there's no mana screw in this game. There. And let me cast Volcanic Dragon here. Yep,
Volcanic Dragon.
Death's Head Buster.
Giant Growth.
Oh, it's a blocker. Okay.
Giant Growth.
Death's Head Buster.
Giant Growth.
Carnophage.
Giant Growth.
There we go.
Did you really think you could win?
Alright, this is white.
Youthful Knight.
Llanowar Elf.
I can kill this guy.
Llanowar Elf.
Youthful Knight.
Yeah, it's first strike. Which doesn't really mean much if you're attacking me, I guess.
Youthful Knight.
One more green. Okay, there we go.
Untamed Wilds.
Youthful Knight.
Priest of Titanium.
Youthful Knight.
Untamed Wilds. Gratuitous Violence.
Finish this pretty quick.
Youthful Knight.
Volcanic Dragon.
There we go.
Giant Growth.
Youthful Knight.
Giant Growth. Giant Growth.
That should count it. There we go. Just 1 hit, that's all.
Destiny end here.
Because I had the gratuitous
Did you
violence.
really think you could win?
Alright, but these are basic decks, so shouldn't get much challenge from that. Alright, blue. Lastly, blue. Last but not least.
Llanowar Elf.
Okay, it's just a wall, I think. So I guess walls in this game are just creatures that don't attack. They just defend, which is exactly what you would think it would be like.
Llanowar Elf. Llanowar Elf. Llanowar Elf.
Yeah, there we go. I think you can have up to 5 creatures on the battlefield at once. It's a limitation.
Untamed Wilds.
I bet he has some unsummons or something.
Scorching
Just gonna hit him directly. Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Priest of Titanium.
Just gonna hit him directly.
Scorching Missile.
Drink.
Untamed Wilds. Scorching Missile.
Drink.
Untamed Wilds. Scorching Missile. Untamed Wilds. Scorching Missile.
Okay, done.
I will have my revenge.
Did you really think you could win?
Ooh, I do get to play someone cool. Come on.
Duel.
Suntail Hawk. Llanowar Elf.
Yeah.
Suntail Hawk. Llanowar Elf. Suntail Hawk. Suntail Hawk. Youthful Knight. Giant Growth.
Okay.
Llanowar Elf. Suntail Hawk. Giant Growth.
Oh,
Youthful Knight. Priest of Titanium. Suntail Hawk.
hit it before it gets shine growth.
Untamed Wilds. Youthful Knight. Youthful Knight. Untamed Wilds.
Please.
Gratuitous Violence. Youthful Knight. Volcanic Dragon. Youthful Knight. Giant Growth. Giant Growth. Giant Growth. This
There.
cannot be. Did you really think you could win?
Just to kill the Acroma Angel. Alright, cool. Oh, new level competition. Okay, anyways, this is Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds. I think it's an okay game. I think it's very unique for what it is. You don't really see a card game translated into a battle game this way, and it's very interesting how they made all the cards somehow work out. It's not a card game, and yet they made all the cards work out. Like they made like haste and all the cards with like haste, flying, regeneration, and fear. They have those kind of cards, and they somehow translated that into this kind of game. So even though there's no deck and there's no cards and stuff and there's no randomness, but it's actually pretty interesting, and sometimes it can even be fun to play. Yeah, because it does involve some kind of strategy, I guess. it's definitely not one of those mindless beat 'em ups. It's some kind of strategy to it, and it's a very, very interesting game. And I guess not many people know about this game since they just think Magic is all about a card game and stuff. So yeah, Magic is actually, in this one, Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds is actually not a card game, and it's actually not that bad to play. It can be pretty fun sometimes. It's cool how they translated it into a real-time battling dueling game. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's Magic Gathering Battlegrounds, and let me know if you guys have any questions or if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.